Ansel, I want to thank you for coming to camp. My name is Thad Johnson with ABC, and I'll be looking at your pitching video here today. Give you a few pointers to make your delivery a little bit more efficient. Hopefully, give you some things you can work on. The first thing we're going to look at is you getting into the balanced position, and you do a real good job of getting your delivery to the top. You're in a good, sound, strong position at the top of the delivery, and one thing we look for is for a pitcher to go ahead and have their head and their foot and their drive, their backside, everything be over center, and you're almost a picture perfect position right here. So that's a great job. It's just one thing you always need to consider, even when you go into a slide step or you're in the stretch and you're doing a short leg. You need to get to a balanced position, no matter how high your leg lifts. When you're in the stretch, your knee may only get up to this line right here, and you just want to make sure that you don't go forward until your leg hits that line. But from the windup right here, everything's looking real good. As we start the delivery to home plate, and we look for guys to really keep their weight back, and the first thing I look for is, does a pitcher have some tilt in his hips? And as you can see with the line I drew on the screen right here, your hips are tilted, which means you're carrying the bulk of your weight on your backside, which is excellent. And that's exactly what that wants to look like. Lower half is separated from the top half. Your shoulders are staying closed at this point. Everything's closed up. Looks real good. Now, as we start to move a little bit further in delivery, and we talk about keeping closed a long time on the directional phase of the delivery, okay, we're talking about the top half, and your top half at this point looks in an excellent position. Okay, this is exactly where you should look like from a shoulder standpoint when your foot lands and hits the ground. And as you can see, your foot hasn't quite hit the ground yet. Okay, and then we're going to go two frames forward, and as you can see, your top half has now opened up. Okay, it's opened up. It's headed off towards the building, off to the left front, and it's moving right with your hips. So what we like to see is hips open prior to the top half. Okay, your lower half should start to open up earlier than your top half. Your top half is going to stay closed as long as possible. I call this the loaded position, because up to this point you've basically loaded up your delivery and gotten to the point of prior to the rotation. If your weight starts to travel offline at this point, you're going to get yourself into trouble. And you'll see this at the end of your delivery when you fall off to the left. Ideally, what we're going to look for, what I'd like to see you do, is I'd like to see you at the point get your glove. Okay, get your glove out to where you need to get your glove out to the line where your foot strike is. So you probably got another foot of glove reach to get that thing out there, keep it on line a little bit longer. What that's going to do for you is going to close your shoulders back up. Great drill to do would be a one knee drill. So you take yourself pretty much in the position that you're in right now, and you just go ahead and sink your right knee into the ground. You can do this on the flat ground, and you're working on throwing a baseball on a one knee to a partner, and you slowly back up the distance to the point where you're going almost a max effort throw. And the longer you keep your top half closed doing that one knee drill, you're going to stay balanced over your legs. You start ripping that front side out of there. Okay, as long as you start ripping that front side out of there, what you're going to see is you're going to lose your balance. You're going to want to fall over. So that one knee drill is going to be a good drill for you to do, Ansel. We move to the release of the baseball, and your weight is a little bit more forward than I'd like it to be. Okay, you lost connection with the rubber a long time. Okay, your fingers are really underneath the baseball right here. if you take a look, at that in between that circle right here, and you just look at your fingers, it's going to make it a real tough for you to get on top of the baseball. Okay, so one drill that I would consider doing is a towel drill. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to have a partner out in front of you. You're going to put a towel in your throwing hand. Partner's going to have a glove. Going to be shoulder level, okay, release point level with your release point, and he's basically going to stand out in front of you, and you need to just snap that towel through the target. Okay, one, it's going to clean up that release point. You're really going to have to get on top, otherwise that towel is going to miss left of the target every single time. And two, it's also going to keep your front side in line, because you're now going to have a little bit more direction. The target's going to be closer to you. You're not throwing to home plate, so you got a target sitting directly in front of you. Also, again, it's going to help you keep your line. So as we move forward into review, just want to kind of go over some of the things we talked about. Balance position. You do a great job of getting into the balance position. Okay, just want to make sure that whether you're going high leg or low leg, that at this point you're going to be able to maintain your balance. We're going to move forward. You're going to drive from the backside. Right now your weight is staying back. Excellent, nice loose arm. Your arm action is very, very clean. You just gotta do a better job of just let that front side glove, get that glove, just reach a little bit further. Okay, don't tuck so early. You're tucking that front side. Start to tuck the front side. You're going to start to rotate. That's why we see that early rotation with the top half. So you got to just get that glove in line with the front foot, and then keep driving forward. Okay, your top half is working a little bit early, and then with the finish through the pitch. Be aggressive through the baseball. Stay on line. And I think once you figure out the weight issue and the front side issue, once you get to that loaded position where you hit foot strike, once you figure out that you can stay on line a little bit longer with your top half, you're going to be a little bit more powerful through your finish, and you're not going to fall off to the left. And you can see right here, you're just walking off, and your follow through is headed off, towards these buildings over here, as opposed to being everything wants to be start from the rubber, and it needs to be straightforward. Okay, you should be able to hold a balance position at the end of your delivery. I tell my guys when they're playing catch, and we get guys that miss and their body gets a little bit rotational, balance, throw balance. So they have a balance at the top of the delivery, and they have a balance at the end of the delivery. So they balance up at the top, they hesitate there for just a little bit to feel the balance, and then they go ahead and throw the pitch at a low effort speed, 50-60%, release the baseball, and then try to stay over their left leg. So it's a balance, throw, balance. Ansel, I want to thank you for coming to camp. Hope you learned a little bit here today. Hope to see you out there again sometime soon.